Compulsory English. Grade, 12. Time, 3 hours. FM, 75. Candidates are required to give answers in their own words as far as practicable. The figure in the margin indicates full marks. Attempt all the questions. 1. Read the following passage and do the activities that follow. The lack of sleep. Section A. It is estimated that the average man or woman needs between 7.5 and 8 hours sleep a night. Some can manage on a lot less. Baroness Thatcher, for example, was reported to be able to get by on 4 hours sleep a night when she was Prime Minister of Britain. Dr. Jill Wilkinson, senior lecturer in psychology at Surrey University and co-author of Psychology in Counseling and Therapeutic Practice, states that healthy individuals sleeping less than 5 hours or even as little as 2 hours in every 24 hours are rare, but represent a sizable minority. Section B. The latest beliefs are that the main purposes of sleep are to enable the body to rest and replenish, allowing time for repairs to take place and for tissue to be regenerated. One supporting piece of evidence for this rest and repair theory is that production of the growth hormone somatotropin, which helps tissue to regenerate, peaks while we are asleep. Lack of sleep, however, can compromise the immune system, muddle thinking, cause depression, promote anxiety and encourage irritability. Section C. Researchers in San Diego deprived a group of men of sleep between Sam and Lam on just one night, and found that levels of their body's natural defenses against viral infections had fallen significantly when measured the following morning. Sleep is essential for our physical and emotional well-being, and there are few aspects of daily living that are not disrupted by the lack of it, says Professor William Regelson of Virginia University, a specialist in insomnia. Because it can seriously undermine the functioning of the immune system, sufferers are vulnerable to infection. Section D. For many people, lack of sleep is rarely a matter of choice. Some have problems getting to sleep, others with staying asleep until the morning. Despite popular belief that sleep is one long event, research shows that, in an average night, there are 5 stages of sleep and 4 cycles, during which the sequence of stages is repeated. In the first light phase, the heart rate and blood pressure go down and the muscles relax. In the next 2 stages, sleep gets progressively deeper. In stage 4, usually reached after an hour, the slumber is so deep that, if awoken, the sleeper would be confused and disorientated. It is in this phase that sleepwalking can occur, with an average episode lasting no more than 15 minutes. In the 5th stage, the rapid eye movement, REM, stage, the heartbeat quickly gets back to normal levels, brain activity accelerates to daytime heights and above, and the eyes move constantly beneath closed lids as if the sleeper is looking at something. During this stage, the body is almost paralyzed. This REM phase is also the time when we dream. Section E. Sleeping patterns change with age, which is why many people over 60 develop insomnia. In America, that age group consumes almost half the sleep medication on the market. One theory for the age-related change is that it is due to hormonal changes. The temperature rise occurs at daybreak in the young, but at 3 or 4 in the morning in the elderly. Age aside, it is estimated that roughly 1 in 3 people suffer some kind of sleep disturbance. Causes can be anything from pregnancy and stress to alcohol and heart disease. Smoking is a known handicap to sleep, with one survey showing that ex-smokers got to sleep in 18 minutes rather than their earlier average of 52 minutes. Section F. Apart from self-help therapy such as regular exercise, there are psychological treatments, including relaxation training and therapy aimed at getting rid of pre-sleep worries and anxieties. There is also sleep reduction therapy, where the aim is to improve sleep quality by strictly regulating the time people go to bed and when they get up. Medication is regarded by many as a last resort and often takes the form of sleeping pills, normally benzodiazepines, which are minor tranquilizers. Section G. Professor Regelson advocates the use of melatonin for treating sleep disorders. Melatonin is a naturally secreted hormone, located in the pineal gland deep inside the brain. The main function of the hormone is to control the body's biological clock, so we know when to sleep and when to wake. The gland detects light reaching it through the eye. When there is no light, it secretes the melatonin into the bloodstream, lowering the body temperature and helping to induce sleep. Melatonin pills contain a synthetic version of the hormone and are commonly used for jet lag as well as for sleep disturbance. John Nichols, sales manager of one of America's largest health food shops, claims that sales of the pill have increased dramatically. He explains that it is sold in capsules, tablets, lozenges and mixed with herbs. It is not effective for all insomniacs, but many users have weaned themselves off sleeping tablets as a result of its application. A. Right, true for correct and false for incorrect information given below. 5x1-5. A. Sleep can cure some illnesses. True. B. The various stages of sleep occur more than once a night. True. C. Dreaming and sleepwalking occur at similar stages of sleep. False. D. Sleepers move around a lot during the REM stage of sleep. False. E. The body temperature rises relatively early in elderly people. True. B. Match the following sections given in the column A with the information they contain given in the column B, 5x1-5. Column A, column B. Section, information. A. The different amounts of sleep that people require. B. A process by which sleep helps us to remain mentally and physically healthy. C. An investigation into the results of sleep deprivation. D. Some reasons why people may suffer from sleep disorders. E. Lifestyle changes which can help overcome sleep-related problems. C. Answer the following questions. 5 times 1 is equal to 5. I. What is the latest finding about the main objective of adequate sleep? The latest finding about the main objective of adequate sleep is to enable the body to rest and replenish, allowing time for repairs to take place and for tissue to be regenerated. 2. How does the sleeper get confused or disoriented? The slumber is so deep that if awoken the sleeper gets confused or disoriented. 3. What are the possible causes of sleep disturbance? The possible causes of sleep disturbance are muddled thinking, depression, tensions and others. 4. What is the main purpose of sleep reduction therapy? The main purpose of sleep reduction therapy is to get rid of pre-sleep worries and anxieties, and to improve sleep quality by strictly regulating the time people go to bed and when they get up. V. How does melatonin help to induce sleep? Melatonin helps to induce sleep by controlling the body's biological clock. 2. Write short answers to the following questions. 5 times 2 is equal to 10. A. Why did the young man begin to weep at the end of the story? Neighbors. The young man began to weep at the end of the story because he never thought that he will get kind-hearted and helping people as his neighbors. He was emotionally touched by the way their neighbors treated him and his wife as their own family members. Their neighbors used to help them and give advices as well as gift to them. And while his wife was pregnant, their neighbors were very much happy as if it is their own child, and the behavior of neighbor towards him and his wife made him emotionally connected, and he cried because it was an emotional part where they get neighbors like their family. B. Why and how did Mrs. Baroda try to change Gouvernail's solitary habits? A respectable woman. Mrs. Baroda tries to change Gouvernail's solitary habits as she was attracted towards him and she also wanted to impress him. She also tried to change Gouvernail's solitary habits, trying to have conversation with him, going near to him and trying to impress him. Thus, Mrs. Baroda was attracted towards Gouvernail. So tries her way so that Gouvernail also develops same kinds of attraction or feelings towards her. See, what does the line, "The hills untied their bonnets" mean? A day. The hills untied their bonnets means when the sun rises its rays makes everything bright and the hills get bright and beautiful. When the sun rises, the hills untied their bonnets, which means the rays of sunlight makes hills more beautiful and bright. The hills seem more beautiful with the help of the rays of the sunlight. Thus, the hills untied their bonnets when sun rises. D. How does the rhyme scheme of the poem reinforce its message? Every morning I wake. The rhyme pattern used throughout the poem is AABB. There's an organized structure to this poem's rhymes, due to the usage of AABB rhyme scheme. In the eyes of God, the speaker is a helpless child. It conveys a childlike quality due to its austere design. Every second line of every verse rhymes with the previous one. Such rhymes have the effect of making a song more enjoyable to listen to. In order to make a pure plea to God, most prayer poems use this rhyme pattern. Line 1 rhymes with line 1 in the AABB rhyming scheme, while line 3 rhymes with line 4 in the same scheme. Why did the students ignore the bookshelves in the 1990s? On libraries. The students ignored the bookshelves in the 90s because they had electronic gadgets and devices from where they could access the PDF and electronic forms of their books. They ignore the bookshelves in the 1990s as the books were all computerized then. They prefer rather simple books that provide them excess knowledge in computerized books. 3. Write long answers to the following questions. 2x5-10. A. Interpret the poem A Day on your own words. Emily Dickinson describes a beautiful day that leads children from innocence to experience. This describes the rising of the sun, what happens after it rises, and what happens after the sun sets. A thin ribbon of light descends from above the steeple, altering its hue from blue to purple. Upon hearing of the sun rising, the news spreads or the light rays travel like the squirrels running to get away. Sunlight reveals the black hills and a bobolink, a tiny American bird, sings in the lovely morning. When the sun shines, it makes everything and everyone happy and comfortable. In order to ensure that the sun will rise with lovely and wonderful rays, the speaker speaks to himself. Sunrise is confirmed by magnificent scenery, pristine hills, and the singing of the bobolink. The speaker lacks confidence in his description of the sunset. When the sun goes down, the sky begins to purr, and it continues to purr until the sky is totally black. There is a golden tint to the boys and girls as they return to their refuge. The gray-suited caretaker father waits for the children to return. He opens the gate and allows the youngsters in, allowing additional flocks to enter their home. B. Why does Mrs. Baroda not disclose her feelings towards Gouvernail to her husband? Explain. A respectable woman. Being a respectable woman, she has to protect her pride of being a woman. The primary topics of Kate Chopin's short story A Respectable Woman are identity and desire versus discipline, both of which are explored. The topic of identity is further developed via the use of themes such as perception and appearances, since the plot tends to follow the protagonist's opinions of herself and Gouvernail throughout the story. The feeling of being a respectable woman controls her urges and feelings for him. This is because Mrs. Baroda does not want to deviate from being a respectable woman. Being respectable means living according to social norms or living our lives without regret. That is why she does not disclose her feelings with his husband even. 4. Study the bar graph given below and write an interpretation of it in about 150 words. Monthly expenditure of A, B and C family. Above bar graph shows the monthly expenses of A, B and C family. It shows the expenditure of these three families on housing, fooding, clothing, entertainment and saving. Family A spends $14,000 and Family B spends $11,000 and Family C spends more than Family A and B in housing. The Family C spends more money in housing than two other families. Family A spends less than $15,000 in fooding, as well as Family B spends $10,000 and Family C spends more amounts on fooding. Family C spends more amount of money in fooding comparing to A and B family. Family A monthly expenses of clothing is more than $5,000 where Family B spends is $5,000 only and Family C spends more amount in clothing also. As comparing, there is always high monthly expense of Family C in housing, fooding and clothing. They spend more amounts in anything. In case of entertainment, Family C monthly expenses is more than A and B family. They spend more than $10,000 in entertainment. A monthly expense is always higher Family C as comparing to other family. The monthly saving of Family A is about $19,000 where Family B is more than $15,000 and Family C is always like high about more than $25,000. The monthly expense of family C is always high, but the saving amount is also high. The monthly expense of family C has more, but the saving is also more than other two families. Family B has less saving than other families. 5. Write a letter to your friend explaining an interesting class you had. 8. Sotipazal, 3, Lamjung. 04th October 2021. Dear friend, by the grace of God I'm fine here and hope you also fine there. Last time, you asked me to tell about interesting class I had now. I am going to tell you about interesting class I had. I think it was a time of lockdown where our online classes were held. One day there was motivational class conducted by college. Dr. Tara Rout gave us motivational lecture. He told us to be patient in your life. Patience is the most important things in our life. He told us without discipline and patience we could not do anything. We have to work hard to get success in our journey of life. He gave lecture to us, he motivated us to be patient in our life. I thought it was an amazing class ever I had attend. His speaking way is also different. He told us never feel loser. You are always winner. The way he motivated us was amazing. That motivational class was amazing to me. My interesting class I had ever attended was that motivational class. Now I want to stop my writing. I will tell other thing when we meet. Yours, Sarah. 6. Write a review of a book you have read recently. 10. Jiwan Kardaki Fool by Jamak Kumorigima. Jiwan Kardaki Fool is such an inspiring story I have read till the time. The book is all about Jamak Kumorigima, whose life was full of struggle that really inspires the inner soul of each person if they heartily feel her. She's a physically disabled person but mentally stronger in my views. The times she has suffered and didn't give up really touched everyone's heart. The book is all about such life incidents with struggles up to huge achievement of Jamak Kumori. We can get there to learn about her from her childhood till the life she is living. The hatred she used to get from family and neighbors were really disgusting. They used to blame her for a sinner. But her grandmother was the one whom she was loved, but she couldn't experience that love from her grandmother for longer time as the grandmother died earlier. She felt like there is no one to help her in this world, but however she never gave up. She was deprived of the study from her own father that she could do nothing. Her father used to teach her sister, and if she comes near to them, they used to scold her. Jamak was fond of reading. She used to write in the old copies and in the mud with piece of stones whenever the family members went out. She learned to read and write. She writes with her leg, which inspires us that we can do anything if we want. She used to do her every works herself. She used to fill ink in the pen, make her bed herself, eats herself, and so on. She can do everything herself till the time she used to be unable to do her works herself. As the time passed, she improved lots herself. She did the things that weren't possible, proves that no one or nothing can stop you from works you willing to do. The book includes incidents which indicate that she shouldn't live, but she compels to live in such cruel world, was meanly dominated her disability, but she even proved that the disability won't stop your goal. After reading the book Jiwan Kardaki Fool, what exactly comes in my mind is someone who is physically disabled can do that much, then why can't we? Disability doesn't mean anything but what mean even if we heartily wants to achieve something, then we can. The achievement she had is outstanding. The book dearly states that life is full of struggles, but changing life into thorn or flower depends only upon you. Nothing is important for you, just you are everything for you. The book portrays the life of Gima. The book is inspiring so much. 7. Do as indicated or choose appropriate option from the bracket and rewrite the sentences. 10 times 1 is equal to 10. A. The village was being destroyed by them. Change into active. They were destroying the village. B. He says, I am busy but I will come to see you there. Change into indirect. He says that he is busy but he will come to see me there. C. The policeman is standing. The corner. Right appropriate preposition. The policeman is standing at the corner. D. Someone is using my car. Right question tag. Someone is using my car, aren't they? E. The young. Joining the party. Is, are, has, have. The young are joining the party. F. I have had my article in the newspaper. To publish, publishers, published, publishing. I have had my article published in the newspaper. G. Magnet distracts if two same poles, together. Had joined, joins, are joined, were joined. Magnet distracts if two same poles are joined together. H. My parents never scold me. Nor do mine, neither mine does, so don't mine, mine don't do. My parents never scold me nor do mine. I. He blamed that the culprits were you and I and me and you and me, L and you. He blamed that the culprits were you and me. J. I hope you will submit your homework tomorrow. Right question tag. I hope you will submit your homework tomorrow, won't you? 8. Do as instructed. 5 times 1 is equal to 5. A. Using the given suffixes, make a word of each. I able to, ion. B. Define critical thinking in one sentence. C. The word emancipate has its closest meaning to I. Bind 2. Enslave 3. Discharge 4. Fetter. D. The antonym of a precept is I. Anarchy 2. Canon 3. Decree 4. Injunction. E. Find a pair of homophones from the following. I. Doe, dog 2. Cat, caught 3. Cash, catch 4. Way, away. Answer. A. Using the given suffixes, make a word of each. I. Able, suitable. 2. Ion education. B. Define critical thinking in one sentence. Critical thinking is the intellectually disciplined process of actively and skillfully conceptualizing, applying, analyzing, synthesizing, and/or evaluating information gathered from, or generated by, observation, experience, reflection, reasoning, or communication, as a guide to belief and action. C. The word emancipate has its closest meaning to discharge. D. The antonym of a precept is anarchy. E. Find a pair of homophones from the following. Way, away. All the best.